Welcome back, guys. So this weekend, I witnessed something that really embodies the market that we're in. So I was sitting on the couch yesterday. My girlfriend was looking at her phone, and she has an iPhone, and she has this widget app that shows her stock and crypto watch list. And I think this is like the third, she said the fifth day in a row that everything was pretty much down, like between 5, 10% plus in a day. And she just goes, like, holds it down and just removes the watch list from her phone. So I was like, wow, that is really telling to the overall condition that we're in right now, because there comes a point where you just kind of throw in the towel. The traders call it capitulation, when the price just goes boom through the floor. And that kind of gets to that point, or we've reached that point where either people are just selling, they're just saying, you know what, whatever, I'm done with it, or they're just not looking at the market anymore. They're just said, you know what, I'll come back in 3 months, 6 months, a year, and see what's left. And that's what kind of feels like the overall market is doing. And she asked me today, like, how do I feel about the crypto market? So I figured, she's probably wondering that. Other people are probably wondering that. So let me make a little review of my take on the crypto market and what I'm doing right now with my portfolio. Let's go to the trading screen. Let's see, where do I have that? Somewhere here. Yeah, I'm on the right one. So this is kind of what I tuned into this morning. Tech shares decline, lead decline as stocks extend sell-off, and crypto right now is part of the tech sector for sure. Who knows at one point what's going to happen? Maybe 5, 10, 20 years down the road. Kind of already shows I'm a little bit biased towards the longevity of crypto, but who knows what's going to happen? And right now, tech and crypto really are one-in-one correlation. Look at this. The Nasdaq down again 3.5%. The S&P was down, what was it, 2% pre-market when I was getting ready to start day trading. And everything you see, I feel like, is red. It's getting to the point where red is just like a meme, I feel like. Talking about memes, let's go to WallStreetBets really fast. And just let me zoom in a little bit more here, because they always sum up the current situation of everything really good. Here's a good meme. Stock market today. From Pirates of the Caribbean, this general's just walking down the ship and everything's blowing up. That's so true. Oh, Judge Judy, yeah, seen enough. Yeah, that was pretty much me. I got green. Luckily this morning, today was a green trading day, but I pretty much closed up shop real quick. Here's another really good one. I posted this in our Discord. Look at this. The Grim Reaper is coming by. Hopes of an early retirement, dreams of buying a home, a 6-month emergency fund. I think we can all relate to that. And then the next paycheck. So so it's pretty bad out there. And look at this heat map, for example. Bitcoin down 6.8%, Ethereum 7%. It just goes on and on and on. I have a nice long portfolio, an investment portfolio with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, so on and so forth. And I feel like every day I check it, it just keeps going down. What else we got here? Coin market cap trending. Yeah, it's like biggest losers are trending. That's awful. Bitcoin last 7 days down 16-17%. Ethereum, I mean, it just goes on. Solana, I mean, I don't even know why I bothered with Solana. It's like all it does is go down. So yeah, it's a total bloodbath out there. And right now, I think this is what sparked the conversation today, because my girlfriend was like, Alex, have you seen the fear and greed index? It's at 11, and I haven't seen it this low in quite some time. I actually don't remember the last time I've seen it this low. I'm sure it was probably somewhere in 2017, 2018, but I just don't really recall. It does occasionally spike down here. So I wouldn't be surprised if like last week or the week before that or the month before that, it hit down in this area. I just don't check it as much. But you can see this kind of continuous downtrend. Last month, fear 30, 28. Last week was 28, yesterday 18, today it's 11. What's it going to be tomorrow? 7 or so, maybe 5, who knows? Maybe it's just going to break it, because we've been seeing that as well on the charts, where sometimes the price is so far down or something, it just says off the charts, or it literally doesn't look like the price is on the charts anymore. I've seen that a few times on Finviz. It's quite ridiculous. And also, look at this, Infinite Market Cap. It just kind of shows a list of all the larger asset groups out there. So I really like looking at this one, giving me a good bird's eye view. Really kind of compares things a little bit to like apples to apples, right? Clear market cap, what's going on? And we've just been seeing some big sell-offs. I mean, Tesla's back below $1 trillion. We got Meta. Meta's been getting destroyed. Bitcoin, this was just around $1 trillion for a bit. It just feels like it's getting lower and lower. I feel at one point we might even see half a trillion here. That's going to be a weird feeling. To me, it feels like a big buy opportunity, but it also right now just feels like where's the floor, because it doesn't feel like it's anywhere close. So what I recently did was I made a video on Solana and NFTs in general, and I've been part of a lot of groups on Discord, specifically NFT groups, a few Discord crypto groups as well, especially development groups. And something I mentioned in that NFT video is one interesting trend I have to say I've been seeing is the fundamentals, or some of these communities, or some of these projects, or the developers pouring in, I feel like are getting more and more, and the fundamentals seem to be getting better and better. And you always say in bear markets it's the best time to build things. It's the best time to build projects because there's less pressure from the outside in terms of like, what are you going to do next week, or you hit a new all-time high, how are you going to do, top that? But, in a bear market, just like what happened with my girlfriend, where she just kind of deleted her watch list, people kind of stop asking, or people stop kind of caring about what you're doing. So I feel like there's been a great fundamental progress, and it's really exciting to see and be part of. And I'm a developer myself, so I'm always like digging into these things, and I really like it. So I feel like there's a bit of a divergence going on where some of these fundamental things are getting better, but the price just keeps going down and down and down. But that's, part of the bear market in general. Now, I wanted to show some Google search trends here and see if we could find some sort of correlations with maybe the price. Now, most of these charts are a few similar. I have some Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana I want to show up here as well, but 100, I think this is like a million mentions or something like that. So let's just see these charts. So crypto, this is the crypto search term. They really spiked here heavy in, let's see, when was that? May 19 to 15, 2021. So let's actually go to May, and I'll just throw on Bitcoin because that's a good overall crypto stronghold or index in a way. And look at this rally we've been on. So that was right here in this area. Wait, what did it say? May, early May. Yeah, okay, so the first half of May was the all-time high. So let's go back to the chart here. First half of this was, okay, that's actually right around this huge sell-off. So it wasn't even, we peaked in price before the trend actually peaked. So that's kind of interesting. Then we sold off, had a little bit of consolidation here, and then had this another 80% plus rally. This was a really strong rally. Actually, if you go from the perfect low to the perfect top, it's over 100%. So this was a really nice rally. And this is a weekly chart right here. This is weekly. So it's really bird's eye view. Sometimes I like to do these things because here's the thing. I have, quote unquote, a job. It's day trading. I wake up in the morning, I day trade. Well, that's the wrong routine. But let's just say I day trade every weekday, mostly every weekday. It's, I take maybe 20 days off a year. And then if I don't show up, I don't make money. I also don't lose money, but I don't make money. It's literally my job. But that's where I put a lot of my focus to. That's where the majority of my energy goes. Day trading, making the recap video, studying my past trades, documenting my trades, all that fun stuff. So that's really my job. So everything else I do, I really want to make as passive as possible. I don't want to trip over myself. I'll do all these other things because we only have so many hours in the day, and that's really, trading is really what I want to perfect and keep growing and so on and so forth. So with all these other things, I'm more focused on can I set a system up like the Crypto 52 challenge that some of you guys know, where basically for 52 weeks, which equals a year, I want to buy every week crypto and just build a portfolio up, DCA, dollar cost average, and then with the plan of 2-3 years, maybe 5 years down the road, selling it, or maybe a year down the road, but definitely over a year, right? If there's a massive bull cycle, then I would like to start unloading. That's simple. Now. Now, what's going on with the price? Well, the price is pretty high right now in general. We've been on this big rally, and now we're kind of consolidating between this range here, which is kind of interesting. And I'll just throw a very quick kind of trend line here, and then maybe draw a second trend line here. So we're kind of in this range trending, and then we just broke this range. So this is why we've been feeling like there's a serious bloodbath going on, where we had this sell-off, we had this a little bit of a bear flag. This is actually one of my favorite short patterns right here when I see these bear flags. I did not short crypto because I have a hard time trading too many asset classes. So we had a bear channel right here, and we broke from that. And we're continuing that downtrend. So it's been a bloodbath. It just feels like it never really stopped. And now we have a little bit more support, or the next big support zone was really 33 that we broke, and now we have more support coming down here at around 27 or so. So I would not be surprised if we did break 30. And then we get back on this 180 SMA, the simple moving average, which every now and then we run too high, we come back down to this area untested, and then keep rallying. So that just seems to be the general trend. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a price around 28 or 1,000 or something like that. The point is, the fundamentals seem to be getting better and better. The projects are getting better and better. The groups, the communities are growing. The investment in the space is growing, but the price is going down. And this is just normal of a bear cycle. So what I feel like I would want to do is just keep on accumulating. Before I talk about my portfolio, let me just quickly show you guys some of these other search terms. So crypto in general, yeah, it's also near technically quite a low in the last 2 years, maybe like a year and a half, because after this rally, let's just say, definitely hitting a bit of a floor somewhere in this area. Bitcoin, similar situation. It didn't have that big spike that it had before, but it's definitely coming back down to normal levels. If it went down to all lows, it still has quite some room to drop, about half. Now Ethereum had a little bit more of a spike here in this area. They actually hit 100 while Bitcoin didn't, and now it's been selling off. So also on a big sell-off trend. So there is a bit of correlation with the amount of searches and trends and the price. Although fundamentally, I think that actually makes sense as well, because yeah, a lot of people leave this space, but there's like a lot of core people that get stuck with it, but it's just a small amount of people in general. So let's see, Solana also had that huge spike, and it's selling off like crazy. So yeah, it's pretty reckless out there. So if we just go to Ethereum, let's look at Ethereum really fast. Also had this big sell-off, had a bit of a bear channel here. Now it's breaking that. Who knows where it's going to go? Maybe it's going to retest 2,000. There's a lot of support in this area. Maybe it's going to dip below the 180-day SMA. It's a really nice long-term trend that I like to follow quite a lot. Basically, if it's below this, it's probably a really good time to buy it. Talking about below an indicator, and guys, this is all purely entertainment and just what I am thinking for my personal self. These are not buy and sell recommendations. Just want to make that very, very clear. Here's a look into Bitcoin.com, their stock to flow model. This basically calculates the time till halving that I find quite interesting. And this indicator actually shows that it's potentially a really good time to buy. Anytime you're under this line right here, it seems to be a really, really good time to buy. So this is the stock flow 365-day average. Relative to the halving date. So let's actually recenter this one. Yeah, so right now we're still below this. So even in our bull cycle though, right here in this area in that March when trends were high, the price was high, we didn't really manage to have one of these big bull breakouts like we did back here. And I think that's why a lot of people thought in early 2021 we were going to have, or 22, we were going to have that big rally that never really came. It kind of topped out here, but we never had that big blow off top that I was definitely waiting for, and I think a lot of other people were waiting for as well. So now we're kind of in this awkward range consolidation phase that we haven't really been in for such a long time. I mean, technically, here's a big range consolidation time, but oftentimes, it's a little bit more volatile and it picks a direction. This, stock to flow model really has just been stuck in this range for quite some time. And I think maybe we'll get a little bit of a fake out here, but eventually we'll continue our rally to the upside. Who knows when that's really going to happen? But that's why overall, I'm quite bullish on just accumulating, keep on holding on. Some of the bigger projects, unless you're really involved. Otherwise, some of these projects just, they don't survive. Let me just go to this news here, for example. On CoinMarketCap, let's go back down on this list. There's projects here that, there is a lot of top 10 projects that we just don't see about anymore, that are just totally gone. And the further you scroll down, eventually you see them again. Like, oh yeah, I remember, Tron or IOTA or some of these other projects. Link, oh man, Link's been getting devastated. I owned a bunch of Link, and that's not going very well. So it's a little scary. Tezos, EOS, oh my god. Yeah, these are classic Zcash. These were a lot of top 10 coins at one point. but sometimes they don't survive those bear markets very well, and people just kind of leave the project, or the project never really proved to be as successful as people thought. So that's why it's a little bit scary right now to hold on to some of these altcoins that haven't really proven themselves. Like Solana, it's like one of my biggest alt positions, but it's like, is it going to survive the bear market, or is it going to be, in 2-3 years, is it going to be like one of these top 40, top 50, maybe even worse coins that kind of starts falling off the radar a little bit? So that's why in these bear markets, you have people going back into more blue chip kind of companies. Like for example, the heat map, you could see the Bitcoin dominance really holding 41%. Let me zoom out of here a little bit. And Ethereum, for example, it keeps growing 20%. So basically, the more bear a market is, the bigger Bitcoin dominance usually gets, and the weaker a lot of the altcoins. And Ethereum's kind of like part of a blue chip now. But people want a little bit more security. They don't want to own that altcoin that just disappears. So that's something to consider as well. Maybe put most of your focus into the blue chips like Bitcoin, into Ethereum. Yeah, so that's something these bear markets really, they do a good job of clearing out the dead projects a little bit. There is one thing more I wanted to share before I talk about my portfolio here, and that's the here on QuiverQuant, quite an interesting website that gives a lot of analytics. They have a kind of an interesting metric here on the exchange reserve. They say right now, as exchange reserves continue to rise, they've been rising the last 7 days. It indicates higher selling pressure. I wouldn't be so focused on the last 7 days because that's not a really long time horizon. But look at this, and this is not that much data. Back here it's 2019, yeah, so it's not that much. But reserves took a huge dip, and then we had this huge rally that happened. And right now, reserves are taking a huge dip again. People look like they're probably taking their coins out of the market, and then people eventually put their coins back into the market to sell. So that's what feels like maybe is going on right now. People are, they're taking they're buying and taking their coins out, maybe staking or something like that. That's something that I've been doing. So let's say I'll buy, some Solana or whatever cryptocurrency it is, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then I'll actually remove it from the exchange, and I'll do peer-to-peer lending with it. I'll do staking with it, and I plan to hold until the next bull cycle. And I think a lot of people think that way, and that's why these reserves fall off, because people are actually wanting to do a little bit of utility with their cryptocurrency. So if you actually come to my portfolios, you'll see my crypto swings and hodl. This is actually my only portfolio that's red. And a big reason for that is because I sold a few coins. And let's say I go to my, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but we'll just go to the portfolio overview. But this one, I sold a bunch of coins not so long ago. And now you just see, tickers that I'm actually holding and hodling. So basically, in a nutshell, what I'm doing is, I closed some positions I didn't really like. They're kind of swing trades that went wrong. And now I'm just accumulating, just constantly accumulating as much as I can. And that's pretty much my perspective on crypto at the moment, where all I want to be doing is just holding as long as possible, accumulating, start doing utility with these projects like, staking, peer-to-peer lending, and so on and so forth. So I'm making, that north of 5% dividend, more or less, on my cryptocurrency, so I can accumulate as much as I can. So whenever that next bull cycle happens, and hopefully I have, the majority of the correct coins, I'll be able to sell and capitalize on that. If you guys do want to check out my portfolio, right here at the bottom left, you'll see tradejournal.co/Winkler, and you can check out all my portfolios. If you have any questions, leave some comments, obviously below this video, but you could check out specific trades, specific coins, and be like, what do you think about this coin? Or interesting, like you're sizing into this position, or you're actually, sizing down to this position. What are your plans? I share a lot in the Discord, but if you guys ever have really specific questions on certain trades, just comment on the trade specifically, and I'd be happy to respond to you there. Let me know in the comments below as well what your favorite way to grow your crypto portfolio is in these bear markets or even bull markets, but specifically bear markets. Is it staking? Is it peer-to-peer lending? Where do you do it? I would love to know. I definitely plan on coming out with another video specific to that topic. Other than that, guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out if you enjoyed the content. Consider subscribing if you're new. We'd love to have you part of the community. And like always, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.